Thank you very much for that kind introduction. Dear organizing committee and professors of Amity University, thanks for inviting me. Dear students, I think we have quite a number of students here. Let me say a few words. What does it take to change the world? People have claimed that it was done with some of the technologies in the last decades. Let me go back a long time. 40 years ago, there was a professor in Erlangen who had worked on some digital technologies, especially the phone network. At that time, a lot of people still did not know what digital really means. They said, okay, everything analog works fine, especially the phone network. But there was already the plan to introduce the ISDN, Integrated Services Digital Network. And Professor Seitzer, as his name was, said, okay, let's transmit music over phone lines. He applied for a patent for that, and the patent examiner told him, look, according to the state of the art, with 128 kilobits per second, this is not possible. You won't get good quality for music. Don't tell something like that, Professor Seitzer. He don't say it's impossible. He was looking for some people to find out whether this is possible anyway. I was the lucky guy to be one of them. So I got to do my PhD thesis, as you heard, on some contributions to audio coding. And in the end that was successful. With many years of research, many people involved, standardization efforts and so on. But the question is, what does it take really? What is the secret of such successes? How can we go on these days? In fact, a couple of years ago, a German journalist wrote a story about that group, and what he said was the success was a combination of vision, overtime efforts, and stubbornness. Okay, let's look into that, and I think he didn't find all the ingredients. Vision. You have to think ahead. In the 70s, people didn't have yet digital phone lines, not to speak of broadband connections. That was something people not even thought about yet. Computers were slow, so when we had the first experiments, it really took hours to process a few seconds of music. In fact, there was even the problem of how to get music in and out of the computer. And still some people were thinking ahead, were thinking, how can we do that? How can that put into microelectronic circuits later on? How can all that be done? So that's the vision part, to believe something will be successful in the end. I don't think I have to tell any student about overtime efforts. That's the usual way. If you want to do your thesis, it's always more work than you first thought it would be. But then don't give up. This journalist said something about stubbornness. I don't like this word at all. But persistence perhaps is a better word. Really, if something is there and you don't see solution, just go ahead. Don't say it's impossible. Just try to work it out. Be creative. Have new ideas. That's really what technology is about. Not to stay in the same path, but to have new ideas. All that needs some more. In fact, if you listen to me, I always say we and not just I did something, because all this is really a question of teams. And not just teams. Look around. Again, I see that over and over again, For somebody young trying to do something, they try to do something they think they own and so on. They try to do something which is closed and no other ideas in there. That's the wrong way. Look what others are doing and include their work into your work. Of course, reference them. Tell where you got the ideas. That together will give you much better results than the sum of the single minds. So work with others, give and take. And then still, to get the big success, you will need luck. You will find there are many others who are as bright, and some will be very successful, and some still do very good work, even if nobody else knows about that. Science is a great place these days. We've seen lots of changes over the last decades, and a lot of them was initiated by digital signal processing, and it will go on this way. So there is much to do. Please be part of it and go on to do research for applications. Thank you.